Let's go Browns! The Cleveland Browns are moving. But this isn't just a change of scenery, it's a dramatic leap into the future, backed by billions and sealed with the stroke of a pen by the governor himself. And what it means for the franchise, the fans, and the city of Cleveland is a lot more complicated and a lot more exciting than you might think. Why would a team so steeped in tradition suddenly pivot to something so radically different? What's behind the decision to abandon decades of chilly Sundays by the lake? And who really wins when the dust settles? A team desperate for success or a fan base torn between nostalgia and ambition? Stay tuned, because we'll unpack it all. The money, the politics, the promises, the backlash, and what this $600 million deal tells us about the future of football in Northeast Ohio. Browns fans, now is the time. The biggest change in our lifetimes is happening, and you need to know exactly what's happening, because it's not just about where the Browns will play, it's about who they will become. Before we continue, be sure to like if you've been a Cleveland Browns fan for over 20 years. It's great to see fans of all ages. If you believe we're going to the Super Bowl, write this, go Browns. Now let's get to the point. The project, currently pegged at around $2.4 billion, but let's be real, this is construction we're talking about, is expected to climb closer to $3 billion when all's said and done. And it won't be some slapdash, discount build. We're talking about a modern marvel, the kind of place that turns heads across the sports world. Think lights, luxury, and loud. The kind of stadium where Sunday night football becomes more than just a game, it becomes a spectacle. And yes, if you're picturing week 1 of the 2029 season under the lights against the Steelers, you're not alone. That's the kind of high-stakes theater that this new stadium promises to deliver. Now, let's talk brass tacks, because this isn't just a shiny toy for fans and players. It's a strategic reset for a franchise that has, frankly, needed a fresh chapter. Since the Browns' return in 1999, success has been elusive. 2 playoff appearances in over 2 decades. No division titles. 0 real edge from playing in that bitter cold. And don't fool yourself into thinking the weather was ever our 12th man. Sure, maybe Phil Dawson once knew how the wind blew off the lake better than anyone else, but how many wins did that actually translate to? Remember that Saints game in 2022? Wind chill in the negatives. Miserable. Browns lost. It wasn't even Derek Carr under center, it was Andy Dalton. That game flipped the script for a lot of diehards. If freezing our faces off in the stands doesn't guarantee wins, why are we clinging to it? So, here we are. The Browns are embracing change. And for good reason. This move isn't about pleasing the league or following a trend. It's about the Browns finally doing what's best for the Browns. The new stadium offers a chance to rewrite not just the setting, but the outcome. A controlled environment. No more swirling winds. No more frigid Decembers ruining game plans. Just football, fast, fierce, and under perfect conditions. Sure, critics are chirping. Some are already mocking the loss of that AFC North identity, as if playing in Arctic conditions is the key to glory. They say the Browns are losing their edge. But what edge, exactly? Since when has Cleveland's weather helped stack up division banners? Let's not pretend this franchise has been terrorizing visiting teams with our icebox conditions. Change isn't betrayal, it's opportunity. And don't get it twisted, this stadium isn't just a football venue. Yes, people are already floating the buzzwords, Super Bowl, Final Four, WrestleMania. But let's not overhype. Realistically, this stadium might land one of each in its early years. That's still a big deal, but the real win is weekly. It's the fan experience in December, January, and maybe even February if playoff hopes stay alive. Imagine walking into a 70-degree stadium in the dead of Ohio winter. No frostbite, no windburn, just crisp football and booming energy. And the doubters? Even they'll be won over when they feel that first wave of warmth and hear that crowd erupt under a dome packed with sound. Trust me, the minute fans realize they're not sitting on ice blocks for 3 hours, the conversion rate will skyrocket. And we get it, there's a lot to unpack about the public funding. $600 million in taxpayer money is no small number, especially when it's going toward a stadium owned by billionaires. That conversation isn't black and white, and how you feel about it might depend on where you stand financially. For some, it's an investment in regional pride and progress. For others, it feels like a misallocation of public funds. And both views have weight. We won't sugarcoat it. You get to decide what side you're on. And let's not ignore the timeline here. While 2029 may seem like a distant mark on the calendar, the gears are already in motion. The Browns are not tiptoeing into this decision. They're running full speed ahead. Social media is buzzing with posts, renderings, and hype clips. The message is loud and clear. The franchise is all in on this new era, and they want the Dawg Pound to follow. But here's where it gets even more interesting. This isn't just about moving a team from one part of Northeast Ohio to another. This is a cultural shift. Brook Park isn't downtown Cleveland. It's not flanked by skyscrapers or nestled in the heart of the city's old bones. It represents something fresh, something less tied to the scars of the past and more connected to potential, to vision, to what the Browns could be, not what they've been. Now, some fans feel conflicted. Nostalgia is a powerful thing. Memories were made at the old stadium, good, bad, unforgettable. And letting go of a home, even one filled with heartbreak, isn't easy. But we have to ask ourselves, is tradition worth more than transformation? Because this move, make no mistake, is a break from tradition. It's a break from losing in the cold, from clinging to a formula that hasn't delivered, from pretending the old ways are still sacred when all they've given us is mediocrity. It's a leap, but it might just be the leap this team needs to finally fly. And for those worried about losing the team's identity, think again. Identity isn't frozen seats or sleet-covered end zones. Identity is forged by the fans, by the noise we bring, by the passion we carry, by the wins we earn. Whether it's in a dome or under the clouds, the heart of the Browns will always beat through its people. If anything, a dome just gives us a louder heartbeat. Let's also talk logistics. Fans are going to complain about Brook Park, that it's not Cleveland, that it's a hassle. But let's be honest, if the team wins, no one's going to care if they have to take an extra exit off the highway. Success erases inconvenience. That's the truth. You'll drive an hour in a blizzard for a playoff game if you believe it's finally our year. And with this move, that belief is back on the table. There's a word we haven't mentioned enough yet. Hope. That's what this stadium represents. Hope that the Browns can redefine their trajectory. Hope that maybe, just maybe, the next generation of fans won't grow up the way we did, accustomed to heartbreak, prepped for collapse. Hope that our kids will celebrate division titles, not just moral victories. That they'll talk about this move like we talk about 64, only this time, it's the beginning, not the end. Of course, the detractors will keep talking. They'll say indoor football isn't real AFC North football, that Cleveland is selling its soul for luxury suites and retractable roofs. But to that, we say this, what's the soul of a team that's never tasted consistent success? Maybe it's time we find a new one, a winning one, a warm one. And if it takes $3 billion, a dome, and a new zip code to finally get there, so be it. Because Browns fans deserve better than the same old heartbreak in a different year. They deserve a future that feels different. And this stadium might be the foundation that future needs. So here's the final question, and we want to hear it straight from you. Are you ready to trade the cold for a chance at greatness? Are you ready to step into Brook Park and into a new identity? Or are you holding onto a past that's done more hurting than healing? Let us know down in the comments. Do you support the move? Do you think it's the right call? Or are you one of the holdouts still wishing the winds off the lake would carry us to glory? And if you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe for more exclusive Browns content, and turn on notifications so you never miss an update from your new home for all things Cleveland Browns. This is just the beginning, and trust me, you're going to want to be here for the ride.